With the development of science and technology, news delivery technology constantly make progress, and the operation modes and the content of the entire media are also improving. The influence of the mass media has reached an unprecedented level, and the public sphere itself has expanded accordingly, especially since the internet has become an independent media of communication. The emergence of the Internet makes the transmission of information beyond the limitation of time and territory, making it a critical tool for the new generation of public. The following are my thoughts on the publicity of network media after reading Habermas' Structural Transformation of the Public Sphere. Habermas pointed out in the book that the public sphere is a historical category, and its research objects are particularly difficult to grasp. It breaks the boundary between the various disciplines of social science and needs to be explored from the broader perspectives so as to use history. Observation from the perspective of sociology is particularly important. The concept of the public sphere mentioned in the book refers to the public space between a country and a society, and the citizens assume that they can have freedom of speech in this space without state interference. In layman's terms, it refers to, in addition to political power, a space for citizens to freely discuss public affairs and participate in politics as a basic condition of democratic politics. Habermas believes that the public sphere is a forum where citizens negotiate their public affairs, which in turn leads to a place for discourse interaction. This place is different from the state and the government. It is a place for producing and disseminating words that question the government. The earliest public sphere theory originated from a square gathering during the slavery period and was based on the free expression of opinion and dialogue. People's role in the public sphere and the private sphere are very different. The real public sphere was born within the bourgeoisie that was spawned by the development of capitalism in 18th centuries. From the peoples of the slave society to the public square assembly to the representative public sphere of the feudal society. In feudal society, mass media has not yet appeared, and there is no public sphere in the modern sense, because ownership has an open form of representation. The public sphere at that time can only be called a representative public sphere. In the capitalist society, with the establishment of information exchange mechanism and the emergence of news in the true sense, the representative public sphere has transitioned to the real public sphere. The formation of public sphere is inseparable from the development of the media, which is affecting every steps of the development of the public sphere. From the very beginning, Habermas recognized the decisive role of the mass media on the public sphere. He even regarded the political public sphere as an integrated culture fabricated and disseminated by the mass media. At the end of the 20th century, Habermas further issued a pessimistic evaluation of modern media. He believes that, as a market-driven entity, the self-interest of the media lies in segmenting the audience market for profit, and it has cultivated a society composed of individuals in a discrete culture. As a result, the media cannot provide a truly satisfactory public forum, and therefore cannot challenge the existing power relations. Products like the talk show with audience participation encourage passive viewing rather than active critical engagement. Instead of treating viewers as a public capable of rational critical debate, the show creates a manipulative consumer base. For Habermas, the media of the late 20th century did not form a new public sphere. Instead, they have developed what he calls a false public sphere. According to his description, he believes that the target audience are fools without critical abilities. But his false public sphere argument is flawed. The core concept of the public sphere is that a knowledgeable bourgeois elite should create the lead public opinion. The assumption behind the view is that ordinary people lack the capacity to form opinions spontaneously. This theory portrays them as masses unable to understand the potential danger and the power of the media. Take the American media system as an example. It is a result of a series of political decisions, not natural law or divine instructions. Even if the media is mainly affected by the market rules, it is ultimately dominated by political decision-making, and the political force transfers them to a small number of individuals and companies to maximize their interest. The American media system in the late 20th century was significantly different from the media in the late 19th century, which opposed the current publishing system for almost two generations in the United States. Now, the American media, including the advertising industry, are all direct and indirect affected by government policies, government regulations, and government funding. In particular, radio and TV live broadcasting are still under the control of the political system. The public is no longer seen as a part of democratic politics, but merely as a large consumer group. This shows that there is no public sphere or public space in capitalist society. Because the mass media in the public sphere is controlled by the state or interest groups, Habermas comments on this loss of meaning and loss of freedom, and the public sphere loses its original democratic critical function. I deeply agree with this view, but the emergence of network media has made me question this view of Habermas. I believe its emergence has reduced the social inequality, and it's a media system built on serving the entire population and promoting democratic governance. The reason why network media has become the mass media that attracts the attention of the world is completely based on the rapid development of the Internet. At present, there are more than 800 million Internet users worldwide, and the annual growth rate will continue to be 15% to 20%. With the development of the Internet, the status and influence of network media in the field of communication will continue to expand. The extremely broad development prospects of network media will make its advantage play more incisively and vividly. And here are some advantages of network media. First of all, network media is interactive. When people browse the internet for information, the most direct advantage is to actively search for information according to their needs, unlike traditional media such as newspaper and televisions, where the content of information is determined by the communicator. The audience can only accept it and has no freedom to choose the content. With the Internet, audience becomes the dominant in the information dissemination, and they can even express their opinions and give feedback to the disseminators. This is the most prominent advantage of network media. Secondly, network media has a very good openness and a high degree of information sharing. Because the Internet is a platform open to the public, ordinary network users can provide information for the Internet, and the scalability of its carry information is unlimited. This is something that traditional media cannot do. With the continuous improvement of the professionalization of network media, this advantage becomes more obvious. What's more, the Internet breaks geographical boundaries and has an extremely wide spread. Online without borders is a good summary of the characteristics of the Internet media. The hosts connected to the Internet are equal, no matter which country you are from. As long as you know the IP address or domain name, you can access any computer connected to the Internet. However, traditional media has very strong geographic limitations. If you need to spread across region, you need to carry out complex means, such as satellite broadcast of TV, etc. The cross-regional nature of the network media is an unmatched advantage of the other media. In summary, It's an inevitable trend that network media will become the spokesperson of the public in the new era. Although there will be some unexpected up and downs in the replacement process of the old and the new, in the near future, the internet will enable people to have a real public sphere where they can speak freely.